Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives, back for a CD vinyl update. A bit overdue, I apologize for that. Took a few extra days off and truthfully battling a little bit of allergies. It's that time of year around here and yeah, my head, normally as fat as it already is felt way out here, but feeling a lot better. No worries, I'm fine. Anyways, we all know about the brand new Iron Maiden album released on September 3rd called Senjutsu. You've seen the other 665 reviews. Let's call this the 666th. Not really a review. I'm not really a review guy. I like to, go over albums with you and stuff like that. But this is more of just my initial thoughts. I'm the type of person that needs some time with albums. I just cannot jump on right away and say, this is the best thing ever, this is a pile of shit. So where I stand right now, this, it's going to be in the middle. I just don't have enough time with this album yet. I've had about 6 full listens. And what also I did was I grabbed everything from Brave New World to Book of Souls, and I re-listened to everything in chronological order. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for, where this album would stand. And of course, we're going to talk about it. I'll show you it. But I would say right now, for me, is it as good as Brave New World? No. Is it as good as A Matter of Life and Death? No. It's definitely better than The Final Frontier. That would be my lowest on the totem pole of these newer albums. And then, I don't know, probably Book of Souls. And the surprise to me is when I put in Dance of Death, which the cover always has turned me off. And maybe somewhere subconsciously in the back of my mind, that makes me think it's not as good of an album as it is. But there are some really, really good songs on Dance of Death. So right now, Senjutsu probably falls kind of right in that 3rd or 4th spot for now, and we'll talk about each songs and give you a little bit of my thoughts. But let me know in the comments where you are with just the newer stuff. Most of us, especially in my age range, early 50s, we're never going to let go of the 80s, and we're never getting that back. So we might as well just face up and face the music, as they say. But you know what, I don't need to compare this to the 80s. I mean, the 80s was the 80s. So anyways, I picked up the CD and the vinyl. I will show you. I actually have no problem with this artwork. I think it's a lot better than the Book of Souls. Yes, it's back-to-back black albums. Whereas this one, the black background, to me suits it a lot better. I thought Book of Souls was kind of plain, like even the logo was plain, that plain white with just a white border around it. And then the Book of Souls down here was just kind of really basic looking. I don't mind this at all. I'll be honest with you, I miss Derek Riggs. I don't know why he's not involved in this stuff, but anyways, not a bad cover. And here's the back cover, which I do have a problem with. Not the actual picture, but this is not a proper back cover to me. You need the track listing. I couldn't tell you how many times I've had to fiddle around and pull out this booklet just to check a song, or I don't know the album good enough to know exact every order or what. I'm getting there now. But so gatefold, you've all seen this a million times, and these actually are on the vinyl. This this color, these photos are all the same. This color and this color are the center rings for the vinyl, so I'll probably only show you one of those. If you do pop out the CDs, it is basically just like the vinyl. It's a nice gatefold picture. But yeah, not fond of this as the back cover. It would be great if it was inside, or if they were thinking, which Iron Maiden usually is a marketing machine, they could have sent this out as an alternate version, special edition, and they're going to get some sucker like me buying it. So here's the booklet, and here's the back of the booklet, which to me, here's the CD. This should be the back of the booklet, and it should be the back of the vinyl too. In my opinion, got to have that track listing. But booklet wise, just, you know, typical Iron Maiden lyrics, some really cool photos in the middle. Surprisingly, no band shot, but there you go. So this album, let's show you, you know what? Like I said, I am right in the middle with this album. This has some really good songs and there's some boring stuff on here. Personally, some highlights, I would say, well, initially, sorry, the writing on the wall, the video comes out, I'm like, I really don't know how to feel about this. But now, you know, a month later or whatever it's been, in the context of this album, I think the writing on the wall is a really good song, actually, to be honest with you. And I don't mean good as in it just blows you away, but it's different, okay? Comparable to, let's say on the Book of Souls, you have a song like Tears of a Clown, which is not typical Iron Maiden, just, you know, a little bit different. And I really liked that song on the Book of Souls. You know, or you have, you know, go back a few albums to Weekend Warrior or Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, which I know was a Bruce song and then they redid it. Back then, I wasn't as fond of those songs, but nowadays I'm like, you know, I'm looking for that different type of song inserted. And I'd say the writing on the wall maybe is that on this album. What else? Senjutsu, you know, cool tribal drum opening. Not a bad song. It's, you know, 8 minutes. I would say the opener on the Book of Souls, If Eternity Should Fail, is still a bit better to me, but maybe just not enough time with this one yet. Let's just jump around here. Death of the Celts. I thought the beginning of that song, and there's a lot of songs where they, you know, it's 2.5 minutes to get going, and then it's another minute to end it, and that does wear on you a bit. But Death of the Celts, I thought, was a real maybe attempt to recapture like something like the Klansman, which you're just not gonna. I mean, the Klansman, even the studio version with Blaze on vocals is fantastic. You know, freedom, you know, I just love that song, and live it's great too. But I felt like the Death of the Celts had that kind of, especially the bass mixed in with the acoustic guitar. This album wrapping up, Hell on Earth is a fantastic song. Probably, maybe I don't know, one of my favorites. Let's put it that way. Stratego, okay, there's some keyboard in the middle that I didn't really like that much, but there is, like I said, I listened to everything, you know, the reunion with Bruce and Adrian, Brave New World, right to the Book of Souls. There's a lot of little guitar harmonies in here, or little parts that you hear actually in every one of these albums. It is very repetitive, but personally, I'm going to need a little more time with this album. Like I said, I do not love it. I don't hate it. I'm kind of, you know, just need a few more listens. But regardless, when a band like Iron Maiden, sometimes I just settle for and be happy that they are still putting out new music. They're not a nostalgia act. They put on a fantastic stage show. You know, they alternate between album, tour, and then they do some kind of, you know, like Legacy of the Beast or Somewhere Back in Time. So happy with that. Let me know some of your favorite tracks. I mean, Lost in a Lost World. I kind of do like the chorus on here. And speaking of lost, I think Bruce's vocals in areas are definitely lost, kind of watered, muddy, you know, just not high enough in the mix. I do understand he's getting older and stuff like that. But you know what? If they do another album, I don't know. I would, you know, bring in a new guy, freshen things up. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if you're, you know, grab a guy like Andy Sneap, or I don't know. Anyways, give me your thoughts on that. Let me quickly show you the vinyl, and then I'm going to move on to, oh shit, I forgot to tell you. I was happy to see too, so this is actually, and I'm kind of I notice not stupid things, but I'm sure a lot of you already know this anyways, but, so this is the 4th release where you have the proper logo where the R, the N, and the M, and the N are all dropped down. So Book of Souls, they got back to that. If you remember, probably around Virtual 11, right up until what was that live album after Final Frontier, the whatever it was. Their logo was cut off, shaved off like this. They did not drop the R, N, M, and N. So anyways, 4th release in a row where we got the proper logo. And one other thing on that CD that kind of bugged me is, if you're familiar with the reissues that Iron Maiden has come out with, in the top corner of the CDs for sure, there's a little picture of the Eddie that's on the cover, which we all know Eddie is on the cover. So here is the past 5. Whoops, I'm trying to hold that straight. So there's all your Eddies, but if you hold up Senjutsu, so would it have killed him to put a little Senjutsu Eddie right here? I don't think it would have killed him, but maybe this is more in lines of the remasters, I guess, but actually not really the case, because Book of Souls was not remastered. It was one of the only ones that was not. Anyways, small gripe. Anyways, here is the vinyl. Like I said, I do like this cover. I think it's pretty darn cool. And here is the part of the gatefold. And here's, again, here's what should be the back cover in my opinion. And maybe this picture should be on the inside. So gatefold, again, same as the CD. I'll hold it out here so you can take a look. I mean, if you've been on YouTube in the past almost 2 weeks, you've seen all of this stuff. So I will just quickly show you all 3 inner sleeves. Another photo, another cool photo. And we'll show you, lyrics on the other side. So the lyrics kind of the same. They actually, the past few releases, these triple vinyl, they're obviously, I think they're using the same artist, the same style, the same, you know, configuration, whatever. So there is one of those center rings like I showed you before in the CD. And then there's the center ring on this side. And I think they're all the same except just a little bit different on the color. Just black vinyl. There's the hype sticker. And it says limited edition, triple. I don't know how black vinyl is limited, but whatever. Glad to have a copy. All my Iron Maiden stuff's black vinyl, so I'll just stick with that. I think this is disc 3, but there is a pretty cool shot. Eddie drawing a arrow, and the final one is another. So these are, I think, 2 out of 3 of these photos are in the CD booklet also. And that is it for the Iron Maiden portion. I knew I would probably, you know, talk a little bit more about it. And you know what, like I said, it's an event. I remember back in the day, and you guys will have these same feelings. It's just like, okay, what's Eddie gonna look like on the cover? Holy shit, oh wow, he got a lobotomy. Holy, he went crazy. Now he's, you know, now he's in space. You know, it was always an event, and we always looked forward to it. So there, no matter how good or bad this new album is, I always have those memories with me. You know, I remember the exact day of most of those albums that I picked up brand new. Sitting on my BMX bike, sitting right in front of the record store, waiting for it to open. Hopefully they got it. Run home, put my cassette on. Okay. Anyways, I could go on all day about memories and things like that. So let's move on. I do have, I picked up some really good used albums, kind of gap fillers in my collection. I don't often show a lot of hair metal. Well, whatever you want to call it. Glam. I've always called it just metal. It doesn't matter to me. But a lot of, well, a couple of these are kind of the hair glam zone. I think I had most of these on cassette, wanted them on CD. The first one is purely a gap filler. I wanted this one to, I want to do this Motley Crue ranking, which is, in my mind, pretty damn straightforward. But maybe if you know this album, you'll gather why I didn't bother to run out and buy it. But picked this up for $8. Motley Crue's what is this? Their 8th studio album from 2001, no, 2000 maybe? 2000, yes. Here's the CD. So this one does not feature Tommy Lee on drums. This has Randy Castillo on drums. Rest in peace, Randy Castillo. What albums has he drummed on? For Ozzy, I think, no, not Bark at the Moon. The Ultimate Sin he was on. Anyways, here's the cover. And again, Motley Crue always changes their logo. That's one thing. They've never had the, you know, a consistent logo like an Iron Maiden or a Judas Priest, stuff like that. So this album came after Generation Swine, which was the return of Vince Neil on vocals. Personally, I think Generation Swine is a bit of a pile of shit, to be honest with you. And this one, in a way, is just a smaller pile. It's got some great songs, but it's just like, I don't know, the songwriting is not great. I'd say my favorite song on here is the opening track, Hell on High Heels. Maybe Drag Strip Superstar. There's some really kind of dumb song titles on here. We got Porno Star. What else? First Band on the Moon, Punched in the Teeth by Love. There is the band The Tubes. There's a cover on here, White Punks on Dope. You know, also if you remember on Generation Swine, Motley Crue did a cover of their own song, Shout at the Devil, called Shout at the Devil, or Shout 97. Honestly, they probably could have went with a Shout 2000 to enhance this one a bit. Just not their finest work. I don't want to give too much away for the ranking, but you can pretty much bet on where some of these, geez, whatever, some of their later work is not great, but we all know our favorites, you know, that early stuff. Next up, I don't know who or if you gave up on Skid Row after their first 2 albums. You know their album, 1989 Skid Row, self-titled, fantastic album. I love it to this day. Slave to the Grind, I think, came out in 91. Another great Skid Row album. Quite heavy, and then we had to wait 4 years for this one. And this is their 3rd album and last to feature Sebastian Bach on vocals. This is called Subhuman Race. Replacing my cassette on this one, and honestly, I have not listened to this in years prior to listening to it, you know, whatever, a few days ago or whatever. This one produced by Bob Rock. So this is 1995. You know, Bob Rock with, you know, his Metallica fame, and produced Dr. Feelgood for Motley Crue, countless other albums. But if you want to hear a little bit of an early preview of the Saint Anger snare drum, it's in here. It's not dominant by any means, but it's definitely on some of the songs, and I'll tell you what, it actually fits this better. This is a little, do I dare say, a little grungy for Skid Row, but it, you know what, when I put this on, I'm like, there are some good songs on here. Actually, my favorite song on here, I don't know if you know this album good, or maybe you just gave up on it years ago. Go back, give it a try again. Try the song Beat Yourself Blind. Excellent song. Opening track, My Enemy. Frozen is a really good track. Eileen. Medicine Jar. Like that one too. And yeah. 1995 Skid Row. Still their same lineup for their, you know, for their debut and Slave to the Grind. But I was glad to pick this one up and spin it a few times. After this, I don't know anything from Skid Row, to be honest with you. I guess they have 1 or 2 other decent albums. Let me know in the comments if I should be, and they do not have Sebastian Bach on vocals, but yeah, good to get that one. $8, you know, good condition. And the last 2 CDs, here's a band that I actually had both of these on cassette, and I love their debut. This is, to me, I do call it metal, but it's more hard rock style. But this is the debut by Slaughter called Stick It To Ya. You know, tons of, you know, glam, you know, hair type of metal that I listen to, you know, year after year. And as I've maybe mentioned in previous videos, as I get older, Seem to be getting a little on the heavier side, discovering new things, you know, via YouTube and other friends. I mean, honestly, I thought about that. If I wasn't, you know, an avid video watcher or friends with, you know, a bunch of people on here, I don't know where my music taste would be going. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have half the shit I have now, because I'm a sucker for trying things out. But anyways, Stick It To You. This came out in, what time was it? What year? 1990. You remember that massive single, Up All Night? I mean, that was an anthem. We used to drive around, you know, and waste gas and, you know, drive every city had a little strip or gathering spot where you would go to meet friends, whether it be a mall parking lot or behind the ice cream shop, whatever. So we crank stuff like that. Eye to Eye, great track. Burning Bridges, Up All Night. Spend My Life, that was another hit. Fly to the Angels, huge hit. This whole album is just solid. Dana Strum. Dana Strum's still rocking out with Vince Neil's solo band on bass. Mark Slaughter, great singer. Blass on drums. Tim Kelly on guitar. Rip Tim Kelly. Sadly, he was killed in a head-on collision with some, I don't know, drugged up asshole. And yeah, that stuff really bothers me. I mean, even I'm listening to some Sabotage, and I always get a little rev thinking about how we lost Chris and what a guitar player he is. Anyways, check out Slaughter. This is an original pressing. Yeah, you can't, you know, I had to grab these. Excuse me, $8. You're not going to lose on that. And I grabbed their second album, released in 1992, The Wildlife. Not as good as Stick It To You in my opinion, but it has some really good tracks. I love the opening track. Here, I'll show you the back first. A little bit of a glare, sorry. Reach for the Sky, The Wildlife, really, really good song. I think Days Gone By was another single. Streets of a Broken Heart, I think that's another kind of slower song, but yeah, a decent follow-up. After that, lost track of them. 92, I was, geez, you know, I was four years away from having kids and things like that. Just couldn't afford a lot of music in the 90s. And but yeah, let me know about Slaughter. Is there anything after this that is, you know, worth a look? But there is the CD, original pressing, pretty cool. And finally, we'll wrap this one up with, there is a reissue of, you probably, if you're into some thrash, you know the Canadian band Annihilator. I actively don't really pursue their stuff on vinyl. A lot of it, excuse me, is super hard to get. But when something comes out on music on vinyl, I generally will get it. So I've pre-ordered Never Neverland, their second album, and I thought, well, I might as well get Alice in Hell while it's still available. And so I picked up this reissue from Music on Vinyl. You know what? If you know Annihilator, I'm pretty sure you know their first two albums. They are more than just their first two albums. You know, yeah, they got some cheesy lyrics. They've had a million lineup changes, but you can't deny Jeff Waters is a monster on guitar. And here's the back. So we don't have, and you know, he's been the only constant member of this band. Sorry, I'm gonna make that noise that everybody does not like. So this is, like I said, Music on Vinyl. Let's just pull out. And of course, if you've seen any of my videos, and a lot of you guys that collect vinyl absolutely love Music on Vinyl, and that's no exception here, because this is a job well done. Here's the insert, always thick, nice paper, lyrics on this side. You probably know this album top to bottom. I forget what, I think this one was just on black vinyl. Yes, it was. So, but these always seem to sound great. There is the Roadrunner logo, and of course you got those tracks like Alice in Hell, Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade, pretty cool. Word Salad, and oh yeah, I was listening to Neverland, and that's coming. I forget the exact release date, but gotta listen to that song. Craft Dinner, pretty cool. But that is it for this update. Again, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this new Iron Maiden. And I was thinking, you know what? There's 2 albums that I was really anticipating this year. The new Halloween, the new Iron Maiden. You know, where are they? I don't know right now. So let me know. Did both albums disappoint you? Are you happy with both albums? Who's leading the way out of those 2? But you know what? It's only September. There's still some more albums coming out here too. So we will look forward to, you know, possibly a new Megadeth album, and, you know, hopefully, you know, Overkill's probably not till next year. Anthrax, hope they, you know, release something soon. Still, a lot of this depends on touring and what people can do. But anyways, I could go on and on, but I will be back with an Ozzy Osbourne ranking real soon. So until next time, stay heavy.